Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now, sorry a little bit for my absence. I just haven't really been able to get around editing that ESPN layoffs video, and so took me a while to get around to do it. And then but now I hope I can record and edit at a more consistent pace. But in today's episode, I'm gonna be going over some trade packages for Damian Lillard, as it seems like we're getting closer to a possible trade, but then again, who really knows? So I'm gonna go ahead and see what we can do here for Damian Lillard. The trade offers for Damian Lillard in 2023 aren't as noteworthy as they would have been in previous years. That is due to his astronomically large salary, as well as the constant turmoil involving him and the Portland Trailblazers. Every offseason, talk about possible Lillard moves has become routine. NBA summer doesn't appear to have begun until the never-ending rumors and trade rumors surrounding Lillard start to circulate on social media and in sports publications. There won't be an exception to that rule this year. Lillard was able to remain put after the draft, but as free agency draws near, he remains one of the top NBA offseason trade candidates. In light of this, let's examine some of the greatest trade offers the Blazers might receive for him. Now, coming in at 3, this one was a little toss-up in the air between the Celtics or the Knicks, but I went ahead and put the Knicks in. I feel like a lot of people are talking about the Celtics, so I might as well switch it up and say the Knicks. But for a long time, the New York Knicks have been searching for a superstar player. Even though they have the money and one of the most fervent fan bases in the history of the sport, they continue to be unable to recruit superstar free agents every year, despite swinging for the fences and missing every time. Now that Jalen Brunson is the closest thing they have to a star, everything points to him turning out to be the man they need. But if the Knicks want to advance immediately, not later, they should consider pairing him with Lillard, one of the best and most significant scorers in the history of the sport. The Knicks would have an explosive backcourt if Lillard and Brunson were paired together, not to mention another great presence in the locker room to foster a winning culture. Knicks supporters deserve this because they already endured so much. The Knicks now possess what is perhaps one of the strongest potential Damian Lillard trade packages for 2023. A 7-time All-Star could be theirs in exchange for RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, Emmanuel Quickley, 2 unprotected first-round picks, 1 pick swap, and 7 more players, and most likely the Blazers would receive the better pick in that pick swap. And Emmanuel Quickley is eligible for a contract extension, and RJ Barrett might still turn out to be a decent player. So the Blazers might try to sell Fournier or buy him out while adding 2 young players to their core of Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson. Now coming in at 2, who's been the most talked about candidate other than the Heat, have been the Nets. Now I put the Nets here, and the Brooklyn Nets had a number of superstars, but they were unable to fully utilize them. They have a long history of putting everything on the line to acquire talents who fall short of their expectations, dating all the way back to their controversial deal with the Boston Celtics. Now that the Houston Rockets essentially control their forthcoming drafts, they have absolutely no reason to tank. Mikal Bridges is one of their rising stars, and Lillard has publicly stated that he would love to have the chance to work with him in the future. By dealing their star player together with Kevin Knox II, Keon Johnson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, Day'Ron Sharpe, 1 unprotected first-round pick, 1 first-round selection swap, and 2 second-round picks, the Blazers might receive a sizable return for their star player. The Blazers would gain Cam Thomas, who has shown flashes of incredible potential as a 3-level scorer and facilitator. As a potential star, as well as other players, they may look to trade for additional draft capital, including Dinwiddie and, say, a veteran player. So we'll have to see what happens there. I know a lot of people have been talking about them dealing Simmons, but I wouldn't really know if I'm the Nets. But it doesn't really look too good for Simmons if a lot of people are, showing that they would rank Mikal Bridges over you. So there's a chance that Ben Simmons does head over to Portland. But again, that's another pretty good trade package, but Obviously, there is still one left on the board that I feel like would probably be the greatest fit for Damian Lillard as of right now. And that great pick will be at number 1 with the Heat. Last but not least, among all the possible Damian Lillard trade packages the Blazers might receive in 2023, one might come from the Miami Heat. This is likely because Miami is Lillard's preferred destination, and it would only be right for them to treat him well given everything he has done for the team. In this fictitious scenario, Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Nikola Jovic, two first round pick swaps, and 2 unprotected first round picks in 2027 and 2029 would be given in return for Lillard and Jusuf Nurkic's transfer to South Beach. Since Tyler Hero has a greater upside than each of the players described above, this is their best case scenario. Additionally, there's a chance that Kyle Lowry will be worth even more draft money, and Nikola Jovic might yet develop into a very excellent player. This package is even more significant because rebuilding organizations must amass as many draft picks as they can. In terms of the Heat, they would finally obtain the star they require to succeed, Jimmy Butler, and win another NBA championship. Now, the only bad thing about this Heat deal would be that the Heat don't like Tyler Hero. The only reason why the Heat have not gotten Damian Lillard yet is because of Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is probably the best player that they can give in return, because obviously Heat are not going to be giving away Jimmy Butler, and they kind of lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers, and they lost Max Strus to the Cavs, so they're kind of running out of those really good role players, and they're probably not going to get rid of Caleb Martin, mainly due to his performance against the Celtics in that Eastern Conference semifinal or Eastern Conference Finals. So it's going to be a little interesting. Tyler Hero was injured during the entire playoff run, except for like a couple games there at the beginning. So we don't really know what's going to happen, but Tyler Hero is really the main reason why they're not already solidifying the trade as we speak. So they've been trying to get, or at least the Trailblazers have been trying to get another team in on the deal. So I'll have to see if a team does end up joining. There's been a lot of reported suitors for that third team to be in the trade, but we still don't know. But I mean, it's July, so we still got about 3 months until the season starts. So we got 3 months to see where Damian Lillard might go. So I can't wait to see what happens there. But I mean, again, the only reason why the Heat haven't gotten Damian Lillard already is that the Trailblazers still want to win, and the Heat don't really have a package that would kind of satisfy what the Trailblazers are looking for. But all discussion though will be for naught unless Lillard publicly declares his desire to be dealt with. I mean, which he did, but you know, it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of weird, but you know, he said that he wanted to get traded, but not a lot of people. I don't really know what's happening there, but he constantly makes jokes about leaving, but after meeting with the front office, he reiterates his intention to be around and succeed with the company. Actually, this is becoming a little old and a little corny, if you ask me. There's no chance the Blazers can compete for a title with their current roster, and as long as Lillard is there, they won't be able to fully rebuild. As a result, Lillard and the Blazers are holding each other captive. After all is said and done, it appears that either the Blazers will have to trade him against his will, or that he will have to backtrack on his promise to never abandon the grind to pursue a championship elsewhere. All of this will remain wishful thinking until that time, not much more. So, I mean, again, there's not a lot of time, 3 months, to find another team, get a deal. Now, I mean, who knows that Damian Lillard just changed his mind again and says, oh, you know what, I don't want to be traded. You know, he technically already requested the trade, so I guess you can't really backtrack then. But it's going to be interesting to see what he does, because, I mean, Damian Lillard, you know, is just that type of player that, you know, has always been like, you know, you kind of grind it out, but he's getting older, and a lot of people already told him to, like, just leave. Like, even me, as Damian Lillard is one of my favorite NBA players of all time. He's not the best, but he's one of my favorites. So, you know, I've been a pro advocate of him leaving the Trailblazers to at least get a chip somewhere. And I mean, he finally did it. And then people are like, oh, why is he now abandoning his team, but it's like, after years of people telling him to leave, he finally does it. So it's been a pretty volatile state for the NBA Twitter and NBA social media around this subject. But again, those are my three team trades. Not really sure what else, but that'll be all for today's episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and also comment. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you're listening to this on the podcast version, make sure you go ahead, leave a 5-star review and hit that follow button. That'd be, again, also greatly appreciated. But again, that's it for today's episode. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye.